and that's what we're there for. So I don't want to, when I was asked if I'm for unification or against unification, I'm not really, I would say against it because I wanted to do what's best for the kids. What I am very, very concerned about is the misinformation that has been out there about saying what's happening in the high school or not happening at the high school. And I'm testament to the fact that there is so much happening at the high school. We love your students. We wouldn't be doing this job if it wasn't. The teachers that come before us in the junior high and the elementary schools, you're doing your best to make it best for Greenfield as a community. You have a high school. We've been there for 17 years. We are the Bruins. We have your kids. We love your kids. There is not as much of a barrier maybe as you think there is. And we'll welcome your love and support. So,
Thank you.
Tina Martinez will be followed by Josefina Silva and Stella Laurel.
Good evening. My name is Tina Martinez, and I'm proud to call Greenfield, the city of Greenfield, my home. As an employee of the Greenfield Union School District for over 20 years, a member of the Greenfield community, and a parent of 2 children that are currently attending Greenfield schools, I support the unification of the Greenfield Union School District. I believe that unification will allow us to accomplish the following. It will provide a coordinated, sequential educational program for our children from preschool through 12th grade. It will increase collaboration between elementary staff, secondary staff, and the community in our pursuit of national, state, county, and local educational level goals. It will also create a unified educational system whereby educational expectations and accountability are driven by a single board of trustees and a single administration representing the Greenfield community. Folks in both school districts are working diligently to meet the needs of students. There is outstanding work going on at the high school, just as there is in our elementary and middle school. By joining forces and coming together as one district, our students will benefit from the resulting collaborative system, a system which will continue to be responsive to the needs of students, a system that will continue to offer a high-quality program for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening, committee members, Dr. Kowski. My name is Josefina Silva. I live in Greenfield. I'm very proud to live in Greenfield, but I'm also a graduate of King City High School. Very proud of that too. I have 4 children. All 4 children have graduated from the local high school. My oldest from King City High School, my second child from Greenfield High School, and my youngest from South Monterey County Joint, I forget. Yes, thank you very much. I'm here to talk to you as a working mom, okay? I have lived in the community, like I said, 52 years. I'm a working mom. I work for the Greenfield Union School District. As a concerned parent and a responsible parent, I want the best for my children. I was very involved in their education, PTA, school site, everything you can think of. I was a soccer mom. Yes, I will admit to that. And my children were very involved in education. My difficulty was that my oldest was in King City High School, my youngest were in Greenfield. I had to travel back and forth, even before the MSAT bus was here. So sometimes I had to travel back and forth 3 or 4 times. It's 10 miles, but after 3 or 4 times, it's very tiring as a parent.
30 seconds.
It's very challenging. I could tell you as a parent, I thought there has to be a better way. This is very stressful. I want the best for my children, but at times it was very difficult. I would like to see that improve for the working mom. I'm here for the working mom, and I know the challenges. Both schools are great, but as a Greenfield resident, I would like to have the high school there for my grandchildren. I would like to see on their diploma, Greenfield High School. Thank you. I would like to see the unification. I'm here for the kids. Please think of them. We want to unify for the better of the children. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And think of the working mothers, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stella Laurel will be followed by Robert Tippett and Veronica Villa.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stella Laurel, and I've worked in the Greenfield Union School District for about 16 years. I was a principal at the middle school and a principal at the elementary school, and our kids need this. They absolutely need this unification. I'm in favor of it, and I think that most of the students that I've talked to are also in favor of it. There was a time before we had computers and before we had computer programs that would tell us the test results from our students. And as a principal, I knew just by looking at not just by looking at someone, but I knew their test scores. I internalized it in my head. And when students were 8th graders, I would talk to them and I would say, you've got to have a goal. You've got to have a goal as to what you want to do. I know you're good at math. I see them as adults right now, and I know and I remember their test scores and how good they were at math or how good they were at language arts. And we have to have that consistency from K-12. We identify those higher learners, students that are interested in higher learners, but we also know the students that need intervention. And we need to have that support. We need to have that support in place so that we don't lose kids and we don't let students fall through the cracks. I really think that we need to think about this, and you need to think about this and say, we need to do this for kids. Kids need to have pride in their community, in their school, and say, you know what, I graduated from Greenfield High School because I went from K-12.
30 seconds.
Thank you very much, and please make this decision. Thank you.
Is Robert Tippett here? Veronica Villa.
Hola, buenas tardes. Soy residente de Greenfield por 27 años. Yo vine a esta junta porque oí muchas madres que están mal informadas. Quiero decirles a todos que unificación, ellos entienden que alumnos de Greenfield van a ir a Greenfield y están bien preocupadas las mamás. Están falta de información. Me va a disculpar el intérprete también, no se le entiende muy bien. Discúlpeme que se lo diga, pero es muy importante que las personas comprendan muy bien lo que se está hablando. Quiero decirles que estoy de acuerdo en la unificación. En mi nota está en contra. Hay mil disculpas, porque yo también estaba mal informada. Si todo esto es para mejorar la educación de nuestros hijos, tenemos que hacer cada quien su distrito. Porque no es justo que los padres de Greenfield estén batallando para traer a sus hijos cuando tienen que continuar ciertas clases. Con todo mi respeto, digo que cada ciudad debe tener su distrito para cada quien sea responsable de lo suyo. Gracias.
Gracias.
Okay, our last 3 speakers will be Dina Parami Alonso, Teresa Rouse, and Maria Natal.
Good evening. My name is Ludovina Paramo Alonso. I am the current board president for the King City Unified School District. I'm here as a board member and also as a parent. So as a parent, I can completely understand the push and strive that the residents in Greenfield are here for. I can't hold that back. As a board member, I was wondering why they were so eager to doing it right now with the lack of information or with the information, selective information that's being provided. So I picked up a headset, because I wanted to know what the Spanish or non-English speaking parents were being told. And I consider there's been some facts pointed out here tonight that weren't being translated. I've also noticed that at one point, the translator got up and shared his opinion and his preference, in which case, if that doesn't have the possibility of having a biased, informed decision made or conflict of interest, I don't know what is. But for clarification, I'm not against Greenfield unifying when the time is right and when the process is being done correctly. I've heard a lot of people share about how proud they are of the Greenfield Elementary School District, and I'm proud to hear that from you guys, and I'm proud to hear that good things are happening in your elementary district. But I'm also hearing that the concerns that mostly everyone is sharing is aligned calendars, and not to come off like I don't care about the
30 seconds.
convenient issue that would be for families. But Greenfield residents, Greenfield board, there's more consequences that you should be worried about aside from an aligned calendar. because if this is not done properly, the things that this would fall onto Greenfield Elementary District are huge. And I feel that I can't address your administration, but board members, if there's one thing that we should share, is have you gone out and done your individual research? Do you know that all the facts that are being provided to you are accurate and are extended?
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Teresa Rouse. I'm Superintendent of the King City Union School District. Thank you for coming to King City for this public hearing. We appreciate the opportunity. One thing that I'm finding missing in the conversation thus far and in the study that has been shared with us is the impact on the other feeder districts into the high school district. For a full study to be done, a full feasibility understanding of the impacts to all districts involved with the high school district of this unification proposal, I think that has to be done for there to be a fair and appropriate decision that is made. I'm not for or against either direction. I used to teach in Greenfield. 6 years I was a teacher there. This is my 4th year in King City as superintendent. I love South County. I'm in support of students. And if it's what's best for students, that's great, but we have to be certain that the feasibility study actually does look at the impacts on all districts involved. To the topic of aligned calendars, since I came to this, when I first came to the district here in King City, we made a concerted effort to work with the high school district to align our calendar. We invited Greenfield to those conversations at that point, and we were told, no, we already have our calendar, we don't need to align with the high school. So there have been attempts made, there is articulation available, there are opportunities to work together as partners. But I just urge you to make certain that you're considering the impact on all the school districts involved in this conversation, and not just the Greenfield Union School District and the high school district. There are several elementary districts involved: King City, San Argo,
30 seconds.
San Lucas, San Antonio, Bradley, and Bitterwater. So there are several small districts that are impacted by this process as well. So that would be my encouragement to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa.
Good evening. My name is Maria Natal. I come forward today as a parent and also a district employee as community liaison. First of all, I'd just like to state that I have a senior at the Greenfield High School and one who has graduated and is in college now. I feel as if right now in my position as a community liaison, I would love to offer services that we have just been working so hard as presenting to our Greenfield Union School District parents, and stating the Kid Parent College, which is a lot of knowledgeable information in terms of college preparation, and I would love to go as if I go for instance, I work at Vista Verde. I would love to go to the high school and present the same information to all parents. Because at this point, I have to give a 24-hour notice and I cannot state my knowledge to everyone, so I would love to do that. However, in terms of the alignment of the calendar, for instance, my children would also have a day off for Farm Day, which is an event that occurs here for King City. And my children did not go to school that day because of the community event. So I would love, for the alignment to, to
30
help
seconds.
us out. But even more so, I would love to educate all parents and give all the students the opportunity that my children did not have at that time in terms of the knowledgeable programs. Again, thank you so much, and I support the unification 100%. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Are there any more speakers who wish to talk with us? Have the microphone. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Before we leave, though, I do want to say a couple things. Speaking. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead of myself. There was a period of summation that I promised to give all of the participants in the beginning of the day. and I guess I was rushing myself without realizing. So the first summation would be for the chief petitioners, and you have up to 3 minutes to give your closing comments.
Hello again.
Hello.
Okay, so just to kind of summarize of what you've been hearing, we have been working with the Greenfield City School Administration to ensure that we as a community are ready for unification. This effort will benefit our children, our families, and community. We have heard our community's voice, as you have as well, and it is nearly unanimous of a desire for our community to proceed with this unification right now. We're ready, and I hope you as a board can really see that.
Thank you. Greenfield?
Good evening to the Honorable County Committee. My name is Shin Green with Capital Advisors Group. With me is David Soldani of Atkinson Anderson, the attorney firm that has been retained by the district to assist in this process. Our firm, Capital Advisors, was retained to also assist in the process. And I do want to point out that this was engaged in as a process. We conducted a variety of conversations with stakeholders, a variety of meetings to gather facts before even preparing any sort of a recommendation to proceed with any sort of feasibility analysis or unification petition. The culmination of that work did not identify any issues which could not be mitigated. It was clear to us that sufficient resources would exist to meet all of the 9 criteria as spelled out and required for the proposed territory transfer and unification. We are looking very much forward to the subsequent meetings of this committee to go into greater detail and depth of the actual analysis itself, and we have been in contact with and working with the county committee's appointed consultants to review the proposed feasibility study. And at this time we have heard nothing negative from them, so we are looking forward to conversations in the future to get into details as to how this would actually work if it was allowed to proceed. With that, I will turn it over to Mr. Soldani.
Thank you. As we discussed previously, the community's worked very hard on this petition process and has gathered, in connection with this effort, signatures far in excess of those that are required under the law. Rather than address some of the comments that have been made towards certain criteria in the analysis, I would just caution and admonish the committee to wait until your own consultant completes their work and give it its due consideration. We look forward to the opportunity to further address the committee on the specific criteria at its subsequent hearing, which I understand will be sometime in the new year. But we are confident, having gone through this many times before, these types of analyses, that they will hold up. And we would encourage you to listen to your own consultant on that point.
I want to end by saying that I want to remind the committee that this unification movement is about local control and community identity. And I want to make it very clear that as a superintendent, I would not support anything if it wasn't in the best interest of kids. And I've said it many a times, this is in the best interest of kids, and this is in the best interest of the community. Most importantly, as you know, the unification, this requires really, and I think Joel talked about it,
30 seconds.
Talked about action and the vision. And it has to be both in order to move forward. And it's got to have the power of collaboration. The power of collaboration is behind you. These community members, this has been a collaborative effort. Can you guys stand up and show your support? Because this is collaboration at its best. And then you too, David, you need to stand up too. You know, what's going on with that, man? This is the power of collaboration. And everyone in this room have played a role in moving forward with this petition. Every single person, not just the superintendent. So I want to make it very clear that unification is a collab. This has been the collaboration of the community, and this is their voice. Thank you.
Thank you. High school district will have 3 minutes as well.
Thank you. It's evidenced by the presence of the Greenfield community tonight and last night The community of Greenfield is a very strong community who are obviously concerned about the education of their youth. And I think we need to applaud that. That is huge, that they've come out twice and to be present. The unification process is a very complicated process with many layers of issues. And I know you agree, we need to respect the community and their concern and their desire for unification. And in order to do that, we have to assure that they get all the facts and that they are informed of the reports. Unification facts can be studied in a productive and collaborative environment, not only within the community, within the committee, but with the community. And that, as we've all said, the unification decision must benefit our children. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight and last night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I should have been aware that to have the closing statements before I close the opening, before I close the public hearing. I'm sorry for that. Now we are at the end of the public hearing, and I am closing it officially. And I would like to say a couple of things before you and we leave. One thing is that, speaking for myself, I think I've learned a lot of information in the last couple of days from the people in this community and the advisors that the community has. And I think I speak for the board as well, for the rest of the community here, that we have been informed a great deal about your intent and your desire. Now, by law, we have to make a decision within 120 days from yesterday, the first hearing that we had. That's 4 months, and we intend to make a decision before then, because I know all of you are anxious to find out what the final decision is, and just we are anxious to come up with a conclusion to this event. I can't promise you anything more than that, because we have our own consultants, have you heard, looking at these factors that go into the judgment in making a unification decision. And as soon as they complete their analysis, we will try to get a meeting as soon as possible after that. And we'll have a meeting in Salinas, and it will be in the evening time, so that as many of you who wish to come might be able to come at that time. I don't have anything else. Nancy, do you have anything else? Would you add? Yes, all right. Yeah, Nancy was just reminding me that our staff, of course, is also involved in this evaluation process, along with the individuals that we have engaged to do the work. So, that said, I thank you again very much for your participation and making us feel warm coming to your communities these last couple of days, and wish everybody a very pleasant holiday season coming up. Yeah, all right. Board members, committee members would like to make some comments as well.
Yes. Good evening. Thank you very much for all your time and attention being here. You're all very busy with your families and holidays coming up, and it shows great dedication and commitment to come again and again. I want to thank you all for being such wonderful hosts. It's a pleasure to come to your community and to see your dedication. We, on the county committee, also wearing our other hats as the County Board of Education, are very concerned about education. And having been involved in the elective process for more than 30 years now, in a variety of capacities, I know that the very best and most important thing in the children achieving their full able levels is to have dedicated parental involvement and dedicated community involvement. We've heard from all of you your deepest hopes, and from some others, your deepest concerns. So it's now up to us to have our staff do a very copious study, put together a very thorough report, and for us then to come with a deliberation. We may have seemed a bit like potted plants up here the last 2 nights, just sitting. Know that we were very intent on what you were saying, and we thank you for your time and dedication to our community. Our trustee, Mr. Panziera, who represents this area, is very proud of you all, and we're very proud to join him in coming down and hearing of your concerns. Thank you so much.
Following up on Member Pennycook's comment, it is very, very strange for me to sit amongst this group for this amount of time and not hear any one of us say anything. So these are always so much refreshing from that standpoint. I just want to emphasize that this committee takes this matter very, very seriously, as well the pros as well as the cons, and we will do a very, very thorough job looking at all aspects of it to make sure that it is compliant with state law head code as written, because in the end, our responsibility is to do exactly that. Thank you, and happy holidays to everyone.
Anybody else in the committee? Well, a lot of words were spoken today and yesterday, and so I bid you all good night, and again, have a happy holiday season. We'll see you next year sometime. Thank you.